this really isn't a pitch for a home inspector helping us. Helping what we want to do is educate you on how you're going to get leads. And Brandon, you and I talked about, and we'll close this out in a minute, but we talked about on another video the lawsuit that's been brought against the MLSs and real estate offices. And I noticed the state of California just filed its own class action lawsuit now against the real estate offices. And basically it was for price fixing. And so what happens is the Keller Williams and others have gotten a multi-billion-dollar judgment against them just in the state of Missouri, and it's now spread to every state in the world. So the real estate market is in turmoil. So that's my point. Whatever happens, happens. Whether the buyer's agents go away, I think that's going to happen for sure. It remains to be seen what happens with the real estate market in general. But the fact of the matter is, people are still buying homes. And so you as the home inspector can move more into a consultant role without the agent saying that. How many times, Brandon, has an agent said to you, oh man, we don't want you to get that test. You know, they don't need a radon test. They don't need a pool spa test. They don't need a mold test. Oh, there's mold everywhere. Oh, they don't need that. Have you ever had them say that to the customer?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. And so when they're gone from the process, it'll be better for us because we move into the consultant role. Now, I'm not saying kill anybody's deal or anything like that. Please know that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is every time there's a lawsuit against a home inspector by a home buyer, basically, in essence, it distills down, if you'd have told me that, I wouldn't have purchased this home. Okay, so consumers definitely want more information than from the home inspector than the real estate agents want us to give them. And that's not true with every real estate agent. So please know that. That's a generalization and dangerous, but we can all anecdotally share 100 stories where that's happened to us. You don't need that test, or you don't have the right to get it because of this, and this in our contract, and this, that, and the other. I mean, we don't need that. The customer needs complete disclosure, because how much a house costs really isn't just a price, is it? It's cost of repairs too. So I think they have the right to know if something needs to be repaired or something's worn out. I'd want to know it. So, you're spending a lot of money. So if buyer's agents go away and the real estate market's in turmoil, how is a consumer going to find you? They're not going to drive down the street and see your building, are they? No. Since most of us don't have a building, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, this is where this whole, like I mentioned before, having a strategy and actually thinking through what are we doing with our internet presence. That's, being intentional about it. And that's why this is so important and such an important conversation to have, coming into 2023 to 24 and forward, because lots of things are going to change over the next few years, I think.
Yeah, they're changing now. It's just a big mess. A lot of the real estate agents are changing their practices now to prevent ongoing lawsuits. I mean, they could be, sued again for it. So one of the things I've added here is, what's our goal of keyword research? And we talked earlier about LSI keywords, or it's called latent semantic index keywords. And what it means really is keywords that are similar to what you typed in, but not exactly. Okay, so if you typed in, let's say consumer typed in home inspector, Idaho Falls, that's great, but what other keywords might they look for? So LSI keywords are not the exact keywords, but keywords that are similar, that we would use, others might use to find a home inspector or a problem in the home inspection industry, that type of thing. So, and then what we want to do is keyword grouping. So we're going to talk about it, because if you don't understand who's searching for you and what terms they're typing in the internet to find you, all of this is moot. Okay, so we'll spend a few minutes on that. It's not sexy, but we will spend a few minutes on it because it's critical. It's the first step. And if you don't have that right, you can't go forward. So we are focused on online lead generation in the Masterclass on the 26th of, should have opened my calendar, it's 26th of January of 2024. And it's going to be an all-day class. It's a Friday. And please know that if you sign up and you can't come for whatever reason, you have an inspection or you have your, a doctor's appointment or whatever, don't worry. We've got it covered, and you'll get the recordings in the next day or so. And then what happens is you'll have access to them for 12 months and we'll update them and that kind of thing. And we're also having a follow-up webinar about a month later, so that you have a chance to work through the material, and then you have questions for us, we'll answer those as well. So we've got handouts for you, the whole thing. But these strategies can yield short-term results, but they can also really benefit you over time. That's the biggest benefit. But if you don't start today, when are you going to start? I mean, Brandon, after you realize you built the website that got to page 11, congratulations. Most people don't. I see them on 60 or 70. I mean, didn't you decide that this is not really right for you, and maybe you could use your resources, others, to outsource this?
Yeah, in fact, I've shared this before. We went through two other companies after I realized we couldn't build our own website that was actually going to work for us. We had another company, a company I actually worked for previously. They weren't any good. The third company wasn't any good, and that was when we found Home Inspector Help, and got into that program, and haven't looked back since.
We serve inspectors, home inspectors exclusively. Brandon, I was in the home inspection business, built a home inspection business in Atlanta. I'm not a home inspector, I'm a marketer. We did, when I sold it, we done 13.5 million in sales. So the fact of the matter is, I know a little something about the home inspection business, and we deal with home inspectors every day. We coach, we help them with online marketing, all those types of things. And Brandon is actually a success coach in the Home Inspector Help. He's been so successful. This is his second company that he owned. He's successfully sold a Seattle company here recently, home inspection company. So that worked out. So he's got lots of great skills to help you with as well. But you could do all this yourself. But I think what happens is you see how it's a lot to know. And if you're knowing all this stuff, guess what? You're probably not doing home inspections, right?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I think if you're a home inspector, you better be focused on doing home inspections. Now, Home Inspector Help can't go and call on your agents, can we? And we can't show up at your real estate events, and we can't do your lunch and learns. We can help you with lunch and learns, and we help you provide PowerPoints or whatever you want for lunch and learns, but you got to actually do it. So, you got to get out there and we'll teach you how to do videos, but you got to do it. That's why I said implementation of the strategies and consistency with them are the keys to success. Otherwise, you're just might as well not invest any money. And I want to say one last thing too, Brandon, before we go in, and I'm going to let you just share with us whatever you want to share. But online marketing is an investment. Okay, online marketing is an investment. Offline marketing is an investment. So I think what happens is you have to look and say, if I'm going to invest how much money, X number of dollars, what's going to be my return on that investment? Because to me, I say this all the time to our clients, I say to my wife, it's not about the investment, it's about the return on the investment. Okay, so if I said to Brandon, you give me $1,000 today, and in 3 months or a month, I'm going to give you 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000, Brandon would say, wow, I give a guy 1,000 and I get 2,000 back or 3,000 back or 10,000 back. That's a pretty good thing. I think I'll do that. Okay, he didn't say, "Oh my God, $1,000. I can't do $1,000." Oh no. He looked at the opportunity and said, "I can invest here and get a good return on investment." So every strategy you engage in, you have to say, "What's my goal?" Okay, and what kind of return on investment can I get? Okay, no matter what strategy you look at. And I think what you'll find going directly to the public, you're going to be much better. And you don't have to go to the real estate offices, because pretty soon there's not going to be an office. And pretty soon there's going to be no buyer's agents. So if you can't get home inspections from buyer's agents, who are you going to get them from? Listing agents? Maybe. But I'd probably rather go directly to the public, because they want what we offer. Okay, and when they buy our service, they want pool and spa, and they want radon, and they want mold testing, and they want our 5-star inspection. And the real estate agents might not want that. Who cares what they want? They're no longer in charge. We are.
No.
Okay, and being in control of our own destiny is a pretty damn nice thing, isn't it, Brandon?
Sure is, yeah.
I mean, finally, man.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about this for years, where there's going to be a shift in the market somehow, and the lawsuit's kind of been in the pipeline for a couple of years, and now it's kind of played itself out, and it looks like we're going to see some changes. No one's really sure to the full extent what that'll be, but just the power dynamic between the agents and the inspectors is just not healthy, and it's not in the best interest of the client in a lot of cases.
Right.
So that's why we're so really excited, and we've been talking about this for years, where at least in our company, from day one when we started again in Idaho, this is now 4.5 years ago, that we were going to dedicate ourselves to being the number one, inspection company online. And I think we're seeing it. We're pretty much there. And so we're going to continue that and work at it every day to keep that number one spot. And as the market changes and we see the dynamics between the agents and inspectors change, we're going to be right there ready to go. So we're going to be covering a lot of this, I think, in the masterclass, and I'll share some of my experiences with, our, like I mentioned before, the offline to online marketing, and especially why I like that, especially for newer inspectors, or as you're building a new website and really focusing on your online presence. That's a big strategy that a lot of our newer clients, I think, are using to grow and gain some business early on.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's definitely going to be a good class. So it's going to be broken down into small segments, so you're not going to be bored, I promise you. Brandon and I always inject personal stories into it, so that you can relate to it. This happened to us too. We'll do that. And then we're going to give you a bunch of handouts. You'll have access to the videos so you can rewatch them and learn again, because if you hear it once, that's new to you a lot of times. So you have to hear it 2 or 3 times before you say that makes complete sense. We'll give you all of those things as well. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm totally excited about it because the opportunity to help inspectors, that's what I've been doing for 20 years. And to help you now, where we're going to set the real estate agents aside, I think we're going to see a massive market disruption. We're already seeing it. And you can just bank on the buyer's agents going away. Because what happens is the lawsuit said now in Missouri, and Missouri was successful, every other state's going to be successful using their model for litigation. It basically says, why did the home sellers have to pay the home buyers commission? And the judgment, the reason why it was $1.8 billion is because and Beth and I sold 2 homes that way. They're really going to have to give us our buyers commission back. Okay, because that was illegal. That was totally illegal. And so what's going to happen is you're going to see, if you want to use a buyer's agent, the buyer's going to have to pay for it. Brandon, how likely is that?
Likely, no.
Yeah, I mean, I use a buyer's agent because it's free. Otherwise, I wouldn't. And when we find a house, we find it on the internet and say we want to do it. So all they're doing is really letting us in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting dynamic. We actually sell our homes ourselves. We use a flat fee service, $500. You can buy for a lot less. You get us on every listing. They come out and do the photographs. They do the whole thing for $500. And, we sell houses that way. We don't have to have a real estate license. We put together our own flyers, our own marketing material, and boom, there it is. We've been very successful in that strategy. So but we're forced to pay a buyer's commission. Okay, yeah. Why? What have they done? Unlock the door for $12,000? That's a pretty expensive key they're using.
Yeah.
So I don't think home buyers are going to do it. So please understand, the market disruption here is home buyers are going away, and whatever else happens is going to happen. But I'm sorry, not home buyers, but buyers agents are going away. So if you don't get business from them, where are you going to get it? You better be getting it from the internet. And this is what this class is about: help you generate leads directly from the public online. All right, Mr. Brandon, what else you got for us today? We're going to close this thing out in a second. We went a little longer than I'd hoped, but
no, I think it'll be a great value for people that sign up and come to it. Lots of great information. Like I said, like you said, lots of stories and experiences that we'll share, and hopefully people can relate. And that's what it's all about. Is in the struggling market right now, a little bit, things are slow for a lot of companies. This is going to be the thing, I think, that'll help us, project into 2024 and make it a great year despite the challenges.
Right, exactly. If interest rates go down, it's a winner because you're still ahead of the game. So you'll still, be getting business directly from the public, and you'll be able to get business other ways as well. So I'll have the link put in this video down underneath it in the description for the website for the masterclass, where you can learn more about it, and then you can just log on and buy your tickets right there. We do have a limited number of seats on it because we have a platform that only allows us to have X number of people. So it's not unlimited. So we have an early bird special where you can grab a seat for less money. So you might as well do that. So you'll get the access to the recordings, all the handouts and all the kind of things. And then Brandon and I will do another webinar, like I said, about a month later. That'll be scheduled as well. And then you can just come on and ask us your questions. You know, hey, we implemented keyword research and we didn't really figure out what this keyword grouping meant. What does that really mean? And then we'll provide the information for you and then the recording for that as well. So you'll get much knowledge, a ton of knowledge on a handful of topics. We're not going to cover every bit of this. We're going to cover a handful of things so that you get it. And we'll have more masterclass, one each quarter, so that we can continue to help you hone your skills. Brandon, thanks so much. Thanks for letting us show your material. You guys have done a great job. I mean, you know, you've dominated the market. You can do this in any market if you'll just do it. Implementation and consistency is the key to it. So hopefully we'll see everybody at the masterclass.
Yeah, great.
Thank you, sir.